Everyone, let's have a discussion about the nursenavigator.ca. With me, I have the founder herself, Christina Godbolt. You created the Nurse Navigator. I want to know why. Where did this come from?
Okay, it's actually from my own personal experience. Back in 2006, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And that's a diagnosis that typically comes with a lot of feeling of panic and stress and confusion, lack of support. But it was actually something that our family didn't experience. The only reason that we didn't feel those feelings was because we had a personal nurse navigator working with my mom and my dad and my family. And it was my sister Catherine, who's an amazing nurse. So she knew exactly what to do. She knew what appointments to book, what questions to ask, who needed to be seen when. She developed a care plan for mom. My parents lived in Owen Sound, and she lives in Toronto. She got them set up with this amazing memory clinic in Toronto. She took care of everything. So it wasn't until many years later that in speaking with people and hearing what their experiences were, I realized how beneficial it was to have that. It's not a resource that a lot of people have available to them. So if we are able to help a family feel connected and supported and reassured about the plan for themselves or their family members, then Nurse Navigator will have been successful. Our healthcare system is incredibly complex, convoluted, and siloed. So to have access to someone who really intimately, understands how it works and that can crisscross the paths of the providers to provide proper care, that's a really incredible asset to have. And nurses have that knowledge. They are an amazingly networked and connected group of professionals, and they are in their job to help people. So Nurse Navigator is really about linking those that need help and those that can provide the help.
So, and isn't it amazing that this whole idea came from a personal experience? And were the person that helped you, were they called the Nurse Navigator?
No, it was my sister. Yeah,
okay.
It was my sister.
Okay, so how did you come up with the name Nurse Navigator? I love it.
Yeah, it's not a new concept. Nurse navigating is done throughout the US. They're pretty in tune with nurse navigating. We have a little bit in Canada. It's not quite taken off as much, but what's going to differentiate us is that we're using technology to really make it ultra accessible for people. So regardless of your location, if you're in Timmins or Sudbury or any remote location, you are going to be able to have access to these amazing nurses and be able to just use a phone to be able to get the help that you need. So.
And what's the stretch of that? Is it Ontario based?
It's Ontario at this point, yes. There isn't really any reason why we couldn't extend out to Canada, but
you have to start and grow. Yeah, and
that's
obviously
right.
Ontario is a great place to start.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so I want to go to Nurse Navigator. What kind of clients are going to go to Nurse Navigator to find and seek help? Who are you helping?
Okay, there's really not any restriction in terms of age or diagnosis. The website has some really interesting stories of people that have received navigating services and how it's helped them, and it's across a range of medical conditions and ages. What's interesting is that what I'm finding is there are a lot of grown children who no longer live in the same town as mom or dad, and they are desperate to find help for their parents close to home for them. So Nurse Navigator is a great way for caregivers and those grown children who don't live near their parents anymore to feel at ease with a care plan and assured that things are being handled in a very personalized way for their loved ones. So that's really who we're finding using the service quite a bit, but it's really open for anybody.
So when I go to use the service, can you walk me through kind of step by step, what can I expect?
Yeah, sure. So at this point, it's on our website, which is www.nursenavigator.ca. It's in Canada, so it's the .ca.
It's important to know. Yes, the .ca.
Yeah, there's a Get Help link at the top menu, and you can click on that. You're taken to an intake form, really. We need some basic information in order to get in touch with you. Once that's completed, really when there's a time that was available that you indicated you would like a call done, a call is scheduled with the nurse, you will get a phone call from the nurse and have this navigation with the nurse on the phone in the comfort of your own home. After that call, you'll receive an email with any follow-up from the nurse. So if there was a checklist they went through, any questions they need to make sure that you ask your medical providers, any follow-up that way based on the discussion, you'll receive that. We want to make sure you were satisfied with your call, so you'll also be asked if you were satisfied. And find out if you feel that you need a little bit more nurse navigation. What we're finding is that often one call is enough. It's about getting reassurance and feeling comfortable with what the next steps are. So it's not something that you need to expect to be doing on a weekly basis. Really, maybe an hour with a nurse is all that you will require.
But what an amazing time savings, because let's be honest, how many of us go online, we go to google.com and we think we're our own, we think we can solve everything, and we don't know, right? Yeah. We think we might know, but we don't know where you could have someone who is a trusted in this field, that knows it, that has the resources, and that can save you a huge amount of time and energy.
Yeah, absolutely. These nurses are specific to the community that you're in. So the concept is that you're not in rural Ontario and you're speaking to somebody necessarily in Toronto, although they may have a service that's really valuable for you, that would really work for you. But it's someone in your community who knows what's available in your community, knows the care providers, and understands how they're going to work together. So it's really speaking with someone that knows where you are.
And what an asset, as you said, if you live in Owen Sound and your parents live in London and you're not there, and you can speak with someone who knows that area better than you do.
That's right.
And you have something exciting coming up that you are in development at the moment too.
Yes, so everything right now is on the website, but we are developing an app, so it will be ultra accessible for people, almost like an Uber app, where you would be able to be on your phone and indicate that you needed something. Again, it's location based, so if there's a nurse in your area, they can connect with you almost instantaneously.
I love it. Technology, just when I think I've nailed this something, right? Like I've got it, there's something else that is absolutely remarkable.
Well, yeah.
It makes such a difference. I see Nurse Navigator popping up all over the place. I know the Oldish.
Yes.
They back you up with, you're on their website, I believe.
Yep.
And a lot of people are talking about the Nurse Navigator.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there any, how do people get in touch? Obviously, they go to the website.
Yes, right now, that is the best way. There's contact us, so you can, if you're just looking for information, you can reach out that way. And again, if you're looking for actual Nurse Navigator, you can, navigation by a nurse, then you can go to Get Help and complete the form, and we'll go from there.
Well, I think your timing is perfect, Christina, because let's face it, our population is aging, and this is a much, much needed service that certainly, as you said, the healthcare system is complex and also challenging to navigate. So why not let Nurse Navigator do it for you? NurseNavigator.ca. Thank you, Christina, for your time.
Thanks, Melissa.